Hi, welcome back to my channel Stella in Singapore. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please remember to subscribe. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the living expenses in Singapore. I believe that it is one of the factors that most of us are looking for when we are deciding to migrate to one country or study in that country. At first, I was thinking of sharing this video in Burmese to let people in Myanmar to understand more deeply. But I observed that there are lots of other international students from other countries want to know about that. So I just decided to use the English, and I believe that the students or the people in Myanmar are trying to migrate to Singapore will understand some basic English as well. So let's get started. One thing to remember is that I'm just sharing my experience, so it may be a bit different from you guys, and I'm sharing from the student perspective and how much I spent as a student, and there may be some of the student discount that we have. So let's get started. When we start landing in a country, I believe that most of us thinking about where we are going to live. So I will start off it by saying the living cost of renting a room. So as a student, you can rent a room and stay alone, and you can rent with a friend or even a stranger, so two people in a room. So there may be the price difference between these two types of renting. Or if you have a larger group of friends, like 5 or 6 people, you can rent a house, but it would be the most expensive one. But since you have the 6 or 7 people, you can divide and maybe like much cheaper. So let's start off with if you are living alone in a room. The advantage of living alone is like you have a freedom. You can study as much as you like you can study until midnight. You don't have to care about other people, so it's the advantage. So for this, right, is quite expensive, like $800 to $1,000 per month. And the dollar is Singapore dollar, of course. So it may be increased in upcoming years because of the inflation or taxes in a country. So you can estimate like $800 to $1,000. But I also have to mention, like, some of the houses as the tenant to give like the water, electricity fees, and the charges for the Wi-Fi. So there may be the extra charges, but it doesn't cost too much, like $30 to $50 extra charges. And if you're renting a room with your other friends or even a stranger, it may be like $550 to $650 per person. And that one is like you rent a whole house. So a whole house is like 3,000 plus, maybe 3,000 to 3,500. You can assume that, and you can stay with your friends, like 2 people in each room. So I will mention, like, most of the HDB. HDB is the term that we use calling the apartment in Singapore. So most of the HDB has 3 rooms. So if you have 6 people, 2 people live in each room, and 6 people, so there will be like $500 per person. So it's also quite cheaper. And so there will be also dorm for students. I'm not quite sure about the school dorms. One of my friends said the dorm in Republic Polytechnic is like $350 to $400. So it's very much cheaper. And in addition, since you are living near to the school, you don't have to travel to the school. So it not only saves your time, but also saves your money. And if you have to eat lunch or dinner, you just go to school and have it. And of course, the meal in school is it's cheaper than outside food, so it is very convenient for you. But by the same time, it is very competitive to get a dorm because of its expensive, very cheap. Most of the students want it, consequently it is competitive to get one. So it is the rent, how much it costs to rent a room is a bit expensive, and you can choose what you like. If you are living with a roommate, you have to consider that maybe if you guys don't have the same personality, it may lead to some of the conflicts. Okay, so next we move on to how much we spend on food. So for this, right, I filmed 2 videos. So let's get started with one that I spend at least as possible, that you can estimate the lower limit that you are going to spend, at least how much you spend. So let's see that video so you will get more understanding. Hi guys, I'm Reddy and also Stella. So today I'm going to take you guys to see how much we spend a day in Singapore. So today I will spend as least as I can. So I will have my meal in hawker center that is nearest canteen. So I will show you guys around the hawker center, and you can check the price on your own. There is around $4, $5.
鱼柳还没有好，还要多10分钟。
好，那我拿这个。对。
要辣椒吗？
要2块6元。
有夜宵饭吗？
有。
再来一份夜宵饭。
拿西楼嘛1包。
好了，在这吃，在这吃。
多少？2块6。谢谢。
Okay, so here is my breakfast and it cost me $2.60. Now it is lunch time and I went to the nearest canteen to my house again. It's another canteen and I decided to eat the Chinese food.
Hi。
后面的那个。对。没有了。
没有了。
对。多少
3块3。来，谢谢。
And it is my dinner bought by my mother, so it is around $4.50. For the video, right, I spent around $10 to $15 per day, so it is the minimum amount that I spend a day. I chose to eat the Chinese one because it's the cheapest one in our hawker center. The hawker center is like the canteen in Singapore that most of our houses, that's situated near to most of our houses, and I believe that wherever you live, the area you live will have the hawker center, and you can go there and have your lunch or dinner. And of course, you can eat anything you like. I mean, you don't have to choose the cheapest one if you want to eat whatever you like. As I mentioned in the video, I want to eat the Tom Yum seafood soup, which cost me like $7. So if you're going to eat whatever you like, it may around like lunch and dinner maybe $10 each, and the breakfast maybe maybe $3 to $5, I guess. So it will be around $25 to $30 per day. So it depends on how you spend. So next will be if you are going to make the home cooked meal, how much it costs. So for this one, I will go to the supermarket and film the video for you guys. So here I want to let you guys know that most of the house owner doesn't like the tenant to cook the food. I mean, they allow you to cook the like cooked meat, like the egg or the instant noodles. Sometimes they may allow to let you guys cook, but not always, and they will complain you. So be aware of that. So for this video, you guys will see how much it costs in the supermarket. And so if you are going to do the home cooked meal, you can estimate how much it costs. So if you're renting a house like 6 people group in one house, then I think you guys can cook, but there is another that there will be more electricity charges. So here is the video for the home cooked meal, and you can have a look at the supermarket, the food in supermarket and how much it costs. I just finished my part-time job and now I am heading to the supermarkets that is NTUC or the fair price that most of the people in Singapore buy their groceries. So this short part of the video is like to let you guys know how much we spend to buy the groceries. So let's go to the supermarket and let's see how much it costs. You guys can check the price by pausing the video because I don't want to make the video very much longer, so I just ran through all the things have in the supermarket. This is for those who love to drink milk tea or coffee every day, so you can assume the price. It may be around $5 to $10 per cup. If you guys are going to eat the restaurant food, I would say like a buffet. Let's say for buffet, if you're going to eat the hot pot or the barbecue, it's like $30 plus. So you can estimate like $40 per person. So apart from buffet, if you eat at the restaurant, it may cost like $25 to $30 per meal. So if you are continuously eating at the restaurant, so you may cost like $70 per day. So it depends on how much you spend and how you spend the money. And the other is like you can eat in school. The school is like $1 cheaper than the outside meal. Like for the chicken rice, right? The outside is like $5.50 or $5. In the school, you just have to pay the $4 as they have the student discount. So it's very convenient for those who live in dorm. You just go to the school and have it. I would say Republic Polytechnic food is not very bad. It's good enough to eat every day. So if you guys are living in dorm and you want to save money, you can go there and have your lunch or dinner. And I assume that they were open in weekends because some of the students have CCA, but I'm not quite sure that because I haven't gone to the school during the weekends. One thing I forgot to mention for the food is like if you're going to take away or 打包 打包is a Chinese word that most of the Singaporeans are going to use it when you are going to take food to your home and eat. So it's 打包. I think it's very good for you to learn earlier. So once you get to the store and the auntie asks, are you going to 打包? You wouldn't understand it. So just learn this word now. So for the 打包, right, they would put the food in the box and it's not free. Maybe because they are environmental concern and want the citizens to use less plastics, so there are extra charges for the box is like 20 to 50 cents. So is the extra charges if you're going to 打包. And just to remind you guys about that. So next I'm going to talk about the transportation. So in Singapore the transportation is really good, maybe because the country is very small, so we can travel from east to west is like 1.5 hours. So it really save our time. And so how much it costs? So I would say as a student we get a concession card. Wait, let me show you guys. So now I get my concession card. So it's the yellow color. So the government subsidizes some of the charges for transportation for students, the diploma or the university student, mainly the government student. I think the private student wouldn't get this concession card. And here is the blue card. The blue card is for an adult. So there is different charges. The in front is like, oh my god, the in front is like the school name. It includes my photo, so I wouldn't show. So it includes our school name. So how much it costs? Like normally with the adult card, if you are going one station only, like for me, right, the Woodlands to Woodlands North is like 95 cents. If you travel further places like 4 to 5 stations is like $1.50. But with the student card is very much cheaper. Like for one station is like 45 cents, so it's 50% lesser. So at first I thought that it's 50% discount, okay. So then I travel the further places like more than 10 stations, and it just cost me 64 cents. It's very much cheaper. And if you want to buy the package, like you want to travel as many as you can, but it's like a package and it is like $54 per month. But I personally believe that the package is not that cheap. You just put money inside, and I think it may cost like $25 to $30 per month only. When I wasn't a polytechnic student, I'm using this adult card, and it's like $150 per month. So it's very expensive, and with the student card is very much cheaper. So I would say it's the privilege that you're a student and you get the concession card, and you like 3 times cheaper than the normal adult. So is very convenient. And okay, so now last but not least, I'm going to calculate how much money are you going to spend in a month. So I will assume like you're going to live alone, so it may be 800. And for the food, right, I assume that you will eat once or twice in a restaurant, so it may be the I would say $70 for twice, and then for each day $15, so $4.50. And then for the transportation, for for as a student, and I was sure that it would be like $35 per day. Sorry, $35 per month. So it's like it has a mirror effect, so it is 1355. So you can assume like $1,500 per month. And so as a part-time, you can cover all of your living expenses or not. So I would say that it's not. As a student, I don't recommend you guys always go to the part-time. You have to focus on your studies. And so as a part-time, even if you can go every day, like 5 days per week, because there is the government only allow the international students to do, if I am not wrong, it's like 36 hours per week. I assume that the 36 hours per week, and your pay is like $8 per hour, and then so you will only get like 1152 if you're going to work the maximum hours. So you still need to, the living expenses is 1355, so $200. So for the family, right, for the parents, I would say they have to pay like $500 to $700 for their children to study. So the life would be easier, because handling the school stuff, not only study, you also have to handle with the CCA if you get involved in, and the part-time job. For the CCA, right, I think most of the Myanmar students are resistant to join, because I myself also thought that it's a waste of my time, because I didn't get involved in any of these when I was in Myanmar. But by getting here, I started influenced by these Singaporeans, and they encouraged me to get involved. So I just tried the new things in semester 1, year 1. So I started to know that it is a very good experience where you can get your leadership skills, communication skills, of course, because maybe I'm very introvert. If I'm not getting involved in those things, I will not speak. I just focus on my study. I don't care anything. But once I get involved in this CCA, I get new ideas and get to know new people, and I get to know that these kids are really, really smart, and I have lots of things to learn from them. So I would encourage you guys to join CCA if you want to do so, and you also can join the part-time job, but don't very immerse yourself in part-time job. You have to focus on study and your personal growth, which will be very beneficial for your future career or future I would say just career future career. So it would be very beneficial, and I believe that this video is very useful for your living expenses, and I hope that you will get to know better about the living expenses in Singapore. So if you have any question to clarify, you can just comment, or you can go to my Facebook channel and drop a message to me. I will reply you guys once I have time. Bye bye, and see you guys soon.